Well, what's your earliest recollections? What do you remember when you were small? Did you have a mammy that took care of you, or
No.
Your grandma, my grandma did though, didn't she?
was
Yeah,
it Grandma Brown that did?
Grandma
Or
Brown, she was raised by a mammy.
Grandma Brown had a mammy,
Yeah.
took care of her in Georgia
Hmm.
when she was little.
Mm-hmm.
But,
They had a
that's-
slave.
Mm-hmm.
But we never, well, the time we lived in there, the Negroes, nobody was having anything to do with Negroes. That was why that would be terrible to see somebody go down the street with a Negro. They wouldn't have anything to do with them.
Hmm.
I know us kids, little kids like Cheryl and maybe a little bigger, Jewel and Ava and I, we'd see there's one little colored girl, and then they didn't live right in town. They weren't allowed to be in our town after the sun went down.
Is that right?
They had to do their shopping in the daytime. They wasn't allowed to be in our town after the sun went down.
Mm-hmm.
They still had that. And my mom said not long before she died, she said to me, "Did you know that a nigger's just that a nigger don't have any soul? They're just like a mule. They don't have any soul." I said, "Mama, what's the matter with you?" I said, "They're human just same as you are." I said, "It's just odd that you're not black." And she just looked so funny and she never answered me. Now that's the way we were taught. In
Oklahoma, the Negroes could ride any place in the train, but when they got close, in Missouri, but when they got to Oklahoma line, then the conductor comes out, here's the Oklahoma line.
Back of the bus.
And then
They'd sit in the coach. They could sit in the coach with the white people till they got to the Oklahoma line. When they got to the Oklahoma line, the conductor come through and made them all get out.
Go to the back of the coach or to a separate coach?
I don't know where they
Separate
went.
coach. Now, in Washita County, there weren't any colored people, but in Custer County, they had colored people in Rutherford and in Clinton and colored section and everything, but Washita County didn't have a colored person. And when they would come out there, they'd usually hire.
I'm glad I got that idea out of Mama's head before she died.
Well, she lived in a different time than we did, didn't she? Let's see, when did she die? Was that?
1964.
Well, you met her.
Yeah, I met her. She died, that was 64.
Yeah.
So that's 16 years ago now.
Yeah.
And how old was she? She was
91.
91?
Mm-hmm.
She wouldn't have died then if she hadn't fallen off in bed and cracked her hip. And we took her to the hospital and she took pneumonia and died.
Yeah,
So-
that usually happens with old people when they
If
don't
I'd
move around.
if I'd kept her at home, her hip was just cracked, and I don't think that would have hurt her much. Because I drove her. She was at my house when she fell,
Mm-hmm.
and I drove her to Spalpa and all the way over there she sat up. She never laid down, and every little bit I'd say, "Mama, are you hurting?" "No, I'm not hurting. Please don't take me over there. I don't want to go over to Joe's. She'll just stick me in a hospital and that'll be the end of me."
And it was.
And I just so ashamed, and it hurt me so bad that I didn't turn around and take her back home. I know she would have lived longer if I'd have kept her home, because she never did move around too much. She didn't move around enough to make that crack break the rest away.
She got blind later on too, didn't she?
Yeah.
She was blind.
She was blind at our house.
But she
could see.
never
She
got
could
up
see light.
and moved
That
around
there's
in
a
the
window
house.
and there's a window. She
That
could see
chair.
Yeah, well, that's what I remember about her, was always just laying in the bed in that dark room.
Yeah.
And she sat in that chair most of the time. She sat in that chair all day long. Maybe once in a while she'd take a nap in bed in the afternoon. but she
She had a
just-
television. She had a television right close to her. She couldn't see a thing, but she had it so close that that she could hear the.
She could hear it. Did she have good ears then, or was she getting kind
Yeah,
of deaf?
she could hear pretty
She could
good.
hear pretty good.
Now, she was a widow how long? Your dad died pretty young, didn't he?
Oh, yeah,
And
he died. He was just
1912.
57 when he died.
57 in 1912.
No, it wasn't 1912, was it? 1920.
I was 23 years old, I think, when he died.
Oh,
And he was 57?
No,
that wasn't Grandpa. You was 57 when your dad died.
That's.
no, I'm talking about
Oh, we was
my
talking
dad.
about her dad.
Oh,
I
Her
think
dad,
that's who
yeah,
you meant,
yeah.
wasn't
oh
it?
yeah, yeah.
Oh, her
Grandma
grandmother.
Brown was a widow for quite a while, wasn't
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So he died in about.
she? If you were
in the
23,
20s?
then he died in 20 or 21.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was 57,
Well, he
then
died.
21.
He died before Shirley and I separated. I was still living with Shirley, with Margie and Rosalie, and with that thing
Well,
before.
you separated in 1927.
We did.
Mhm.
No, it wasn't that late. It wasn't that late. We separated. See, I got married to. See,
And I-
Margie was born in 1919.
You got married in 1917.
I got married in 1917 when I was 18 years old. I liked a month being 19 years old when I got married. And I lived with him. I thought I lived with him almost 10 years, but I must not have lived that long with him.
Yeah. I always figured that you separated in 1927 when you got
Because
married in
I try to
1917.
count to when I went to the sand. When did I go to the sand there?
1932.
What year?
1932.
That I entered there?
Yes. That's when you came out there.
Well, I was,
You were 33 years old. Or 34. Yeah.
I wasn't that old.
How old were? Do you remember how old Margie and Rosalie were when your dad died?
They were just in, I think Margie was in school. They wasn't either one in school yet. They were under school age.
So that'd be
So
before
if she was
25.
born in 1919, then that would have been before 1925. It could have been 22. 1922 or 3.
Well, if you were 23 and your dad was 57 when he died,
Okay.
that would make it in 1922.
Maybe that's when it is. I've forgotten.
That sounds right like what I remember.
I always thought it was
1922.
1921 when he died.
Oh, 21.
Yeah, you never met him then.
No, he'd been dead a long time.
About 10 years, yeah. About 10 years.
Yeah.
You met in 32?
So Grandma was a widow for about 45 years.
Yeah.
Over 40 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 42 years then.
We were already living in Shawnee when he died. See, we'd already moved out of Tecumseh, and we moved over there when I was 15 years old.
Well, we've got a picture of his grave. Did the
Yeah, and a
date
slide
show up
taken
on
at
here?
night or something like that.
Yeah, it was pretty dark. I don't know if the date showed up or not.